Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to DSPGaming. It is time for a very rare 8 straight days of streaming here on the channel, and I hope that you're all ready for some fun. Got some interesting stuff to talk about today, including, of course, my day off, as well as some game news and the like. All this and more on today's Level 1 podcast. Alrighty, everyone, welcome to the show. Today is Thursday, the 10th of August, 2023. So we're almost halfway through August. Again, time seems to be flying by this year, this summer in particular. When normally things are very slow, things are actually progressing at a very accelerated pace, mostly because this summer we've had a lot of big releases and interesting things going on, when normally the summertime is quite dead. In addition, I'm currently celebrating my 15th anniversary as a YouTuber. And so because of some special events and playthroughs that I'm doing, yeah, things are progressing nicely, I would say, as we're almost into this fall busy gaming season. So how y'all doing? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the show. And I certainly hope that you are ready for some fun this week, because this week is a pretty much unprecedented 8-day streaming week for me. Usually, my typical week is 5 or 6 days. Sometimes we stretch that to 7. But due to scheduling, due to appointments, due to other things going on right now, it's a longer one for me. Now, this means you're going to get a lot of everything you love. If you love Street Fighter 6, you're in luck. If you love the GTA 5 playthrough, you're in luck. If you really enjoyed the premiere of Chrono Trigger the other night, and you're looking for more, you're in luck. There's also going to be some fun React stuff this week, including a special tier maker countdown of my former Game of the Year picks, as a way, again, to celebrate my anniversary as a YouTuber. There'll be my usual React show, DSP versus the Internet. And since now we have all those lingering games finished up, we will have ample opportunity this week to possibly do something like maybe bring back the World Tour mode in Street Fighter 6 or something like that. So, good stuff coming up this week, all right? Now, there will be a little bit of weirdness to the schedule. We'll explain that in a second. Tomorrow, in particular, is going to be a little weird because I'm going to have an interruption on my stream. The good news is tomorrow's Street Fighter 6 day, Street Fighter Friday. So because of that, it won't necessarily affect the stream that much. If I was in the middle of a narrative-based playthrough and we had an interruption, that'd be annoying. But being that it's just online matches, it's not going to be that big of a deal if we need to take, a little bit of a break. But I'll let you know more about that in a bit. So, I'm certainly excited for this week. I hope that you guys are too. I guess before we even jump into all of that, I think we should possibly do a little segment. It's not exactly the most exciting segment, but it's a segment people seem to like to look forward to. It's something that we call around here the Ghost Lamp. No, Phil's Day Off. So let's talk about what I did yesterday. Yesterday was my day off from streaming. For 2 weeks in a row, I had another day jam-packed with activities with my wife where we had to go out and do things together, appointments and the like. Basically, some things went really well and other things didn't go so well. The thing is, the things that really didn't go so well have nothing to do really with my business or my streams. It's more personal stuff behind the scenes. Suffice it to say, I was on hold with a stupid customer support line for about an hour on my day off, which I didn't appreciate. You know, it's supposed to be like a relaxing day and doing stuff with my wife, not sitting on hold on a phone. But that's life, I guess. As you adult and you get older, you deal with this shit whenever you can. And obviously, I can't be sitting on hold for an hour on a day when I'm streaming. I don't have time. So I had to do it on my day off. In addition to that, Just to give you some perspective, all right? There's a reason why this week is an 8-day streaming week, okay? Basically, there's some stuff going on that's outside the realm of my control. And basically, because of that, my life schedule, my wife's schedule, everything had to change around that. So we made all these changes, right? I'm 8-day streaming week, work schedules are different, and everything's different. And then yesterday, while we're out doing other things, we get notified, oh, the whole reason that you had to change your schedule is canceled and delayed. Really? Really? So that's nice, you know? We redid everything, literally everything. You know, me, it's not that big of a deal, right? For me to redo my schedule, it's not a huge deal. I could stream longer, or I could stream shorter. I can work longer days, or, you know, more days in a row, less days in a row. You guys are pretty flexible with that. You understand. You know, I do what I can. I would love to have a 100% consistent schedule, but I can't. You get that? It all works out. It's not a big deal. But, you know, my wife has to schedule stuff with her job, and then we're taking time off or changing work days around, and then the whole thing gets changed. Like, what the hell? So it was pretty frustrating in that regard. Outside of that, what did we do yesterday? Well, the usual. You know, we did grocery shopping for 8 freaking days this week because it was a longer week now. So we had to get enough food for, like, cooking for most of those days. What else did we do? You know, pet store stuff. I think my wife had to return something at a store. One thing I got nice is some new microfiber cloths. This one is supposed to be for, like, glass surfaces, while this one is more for, like, electronics and screens. So this one I'm going to use to clean my brand new Conba joystick, which actually is kind of like a glass surface, right? So I've already cleaned it this morning, and look how beautiful it looks. I got all the fingerprints and all the smudges off. It's nice to have a new cloth to clean this thing. Every time I use it, it's going to get gross because of the way that they built it. But now I have something to clean it with, which is nice. And, you know, usually every day we have some stuff going on with some glasses, whether it be sunglasses. Oh, God, those are filthy. Or the Gunner glasses. And so now I have some nice claws by which I can clean. These are absolutely filthy. Wow. I think I need to get some cleaning fluid or something, because wow, that is really gross. Anyway, but yeah, so now I have some things to clean stuff in the office, which is nice. Instead of just having, you know, smudged, dirty stuff, you got to keep that stuff professional. You know, it's my workspace, right? You can't be having gross stuff all over the place. Exactly. Anyway, so we did that. As you can see, I did get a couple more new shirts. This is a brand new one today, so people are already commenting on the design. Yes, it's actually one of the more elaborate designs I now have for these nice, you know, button-down short-sleeve shirts. And yes, I got a haircut. As people already mentioned it as well. As you can see, it was a trim. It wasn't necessarily a full-on haircut. I like how I've been doing my hair for almost the last month now, where, you know, it's more conditioned and a little bit curly or whatever, rather than me combing it back and wetting it down. People have liked that in the last month. So now I got just a trim essentially on that haircut. Still looks dirty. Anyway, so yeah, the chill summer vibes continue. Keep in mind, it's summertime here for another month in the United States. I don't know where you guys are, because I do have an international audience. Very well, your seasons may not be in line with mine. But yeah, we have summer for about another month. It's been hot. Like, the days have been at the coolest, like high 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Our hotter days are 80. Supposedly, this coming week, we're supposed to see... What is all over this? It's weird. It looks like it has specks all over it. I wonder what the specks are. Maybe I need to use a cleaning solution on it, because it does look pretty... Yuck. It does. Anyway, mold. I don't think mold grows on glasses. I hate to tell you, but no. We're gonna have 90+ degree weather this week coming up. Supposedly starting this you know, weekend into early and mid next week. It's supposed to be like incredibly hot. I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to have this hot ass fucking weather, but it is what it is. Got to deal with it. You know, we're in the home stretch of the summer, one more month, and then things will start to cool down here regardless for the fall, which will be nice. So I just got to kind of tough it out through this annoying part of the year. It is what it is. I am sitting in air conditioning, but it just sucks to not be able to have like fresh air and stuff. Because yesterday we went out and it wasn't that hot, but it was muggy. So everywhere you go, you're like, that humidity in the air, it's gross. It bothers you. I hate mugginess. I really do. Like, that's one of the worst kinds of weather that I can put up with. That's why when I was looking to move about a decade ago, I basically said no Florida. And everyone's like, why not? Florida is like cheaper prices to live there, lower taxes. It's very business friendly. Like, yeah, and it's fucking super hot and humid all year long. You got to sit indoors in air conditioning constantly to survive. If you step outside, it's like going into a freaking sauna constantly. Like, yuck, I hate that, So, yeah, just crazy. Wow, Dark Mega says they had almost 30 straight days over 100 degrees in Texas. So you hear that heat is abnormal, or supposed to be abnormal here, and it's totally not anymore. Like, the weather is definitely changing worldwide, and it's just hotter and hotter, just ambient temperatures going up and up everywhere. It is what it is, I guess. What are you going to do? But, so anyway, what did we have yesterday? When we were out, we did a million things. We were driving all around doing a million things while we were out. And, we did, what did we do? We, got Mexican food for dinner. So I ended up getting a big burrito. So did my wife, of various kinds. I think she got the carne asada, which is delicious, right? And I got a blanco burrito, which is a burrito not with red sauce, but with a cheese and cream sauce with chicken. And pinto beans and rice. It's super duper good. I've had it before. It's really tasty. So, good stuff. It was good food. And I had a good time with it. And, yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day, even though there was annoying, stressful things that happened. I didn't want to sit on the phone for an hour with a customer support department. I didn't enjoy having the entire reason why I have an 8-day streaming week freaking canceled and changed and rescheduled right in the middle of my day out, which really frustrated me, but what are you going to do? That's life, right? You deal with it. So, yeah. So, good stuff. And, I'm back. And I'm raring to go for this week. This week, everything is good. Like, I don't think there will be a single stream this week that I'm like, it's not as good. Everything I'm doing this week. Street Fighter 6 has been great. Am I a little annoyed that I have to go back through the platinum ranks with Blanca? Yes. But it is what it is. I will be playing with Honda as well tomorrow. So, we'll see how Honda's ranking and placement does, and hopefully he gets higher than freaking platinum, so that way I can actually have an easier time maybe getting him to master. At this rate, it looks like if I get good placements with Honda in ranked, I may actually get him to master before Blanca on PS5. Figure that one out. It's like Blanca is destined to have to grind in the lower ranks forever to get anywhere in this game, right? So anyway, we got that. We got GTA 5 continuing, which I'm chill and pumped for. As you know, GTA 5 has been a great retro playthrough. We're about 15 hours into it right now, and a typical playthrough of GTA 5 is 30 hours, but since this playthrough, I'm going to be doing side content. For example, I did some of the triathlons. I'm doing the delivery missions with Trevor. I'm doing the towing missions for Franklin. The playthrough will likely be longer, which is fine. I'm totally down for this being a month-long playthrough that I chill with you guys and we play, over the next 3 weeks to a month. Essentially, we have until the release of Starfield. When Starfield comes out, that'll be like a major thing. So I'd like to finish GTA 5 like at the time I'm starting Starfield. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we will do that. But I feel like the game's hitting its stride now. All 3 characters are involved. You can switch between them on the fly. They've got fun story missions. They've got side content, but they've also got missions that intertwine with each other that are really fun. I like that. I like that aspect of jumping around and doing various different things. It makes it more fun, in my opinion. So I'm really enjoying, where GTA 5 is right now and where it's going. I don't really remember exactly the pacing. So I don't know how long we'll be in this middle part before it kind of heads into the end game push of narrative, but I think we got a few streams at least, okay? So it's good stuff right now. I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are too with GTA 5. And, of course, we just started Chrono Trigger on my mini PC. And the first 2 hours were outstanding, just like I knew they would be. This playthrough is special to me because, number one, it's one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Number two, it's now widescreen and with all the bells and whistles of a modern game. And we're having a good time with it, interacting and talking. Like, just that first stream was fun. It's going to get better, I feel, as we get further into the game and the game gets better. So more of that tonight, by the way. I'm excited for that. So all that, plus, I'm really excited for this tier maker on Saturday night. I think this is going to be a really cool special event. We're going to be really debating with each other, what games are the best of the last 10 to 12 years? Because some of these games, I think to this day, we look at them and we're like, wow, these games are still absolutely outstanding. And there's going to be other games that are going to be like, how do we even like these? Look at a game from like 7-8 years ago. Like, why was this the game of the year? It doesn't even make sense. It's like not good anymore, right? So it'll be very interesting to do that tier maker on Saturday night. And of course, I like also having the opportunity to chill with you. And I feel like if we do more World Tour mode in Street Fighter 6, that's exactly what that's going to be. It's going to be open world chill, leveling up my character, just having interactive fun, nothing too special, just kind of a opportunity to kind of relax and play through that mode and unlock content and stuff. It's going to be good. All right, so I hope that you guys will join me all week long for all the fun and festivities. All right, it's going to be a good week. So speaking of which, I guess we should get to the schedule. Let's get that out of the way so you guys know what to expect this week, and then we can continue on with some game news, shout outs, all the usual stuff. Sound good? Okay. So first of all, before we begin, thank you guys, because we had dipped a significant amount of members the other day. There was a member bomb last month that expired, and we dipped below 500 members again. And I was like, oh, here we go again, because it's frustrating. You're trying to maintain a certain level of support, and when you have months when there's really nothing going on in the realm of important new releases, this last month and this month now, there's not that much going on. Very few new releases that are of note. The ones that are of note, like Baldur's Gate 3, is a game I can't play. It's too long. It's a format that doesn't really fit this stream. It's a game that people will lose interest in after a few streams. I just know it. I don't have time for a 100-hour story-based RPG right now with all the stuff coming out in September. So, I'm kind of skipping some of the new stuff because it doesn't really fit the format of the kind of content I put out. So when that's going on, it's hard to maintain support, I know, once we get to the fall. And we're playing non-stop new game releases. And people are coming to the streams to watch those playthroughs. You're going to see an increase. It always happens every year. But we got to get to the fall. So, as for the summer, it's a little tougher. And I want to say thanks, because we did get a rallying on the end of Tuesday night there, where some people were gifting memberships, and we got back above 500 members. Thank you very much for that. I'd like to keep that going and keep that momentum going this week. One of the best ways to support my streams is to either become a member or to gift memberships to the community. All right? So many benefits of being a member, including access to all of my emotes, a chat crown badge to show how long you've been a cool supporter, and that crown will increase in quality the longer that you're an ongoing member. The ability to talk as much as you want in the chat, which is nice. You don't have any kind of, limitations like everyone else has slow mode, but you don't have slow mode if you're a member. Among many other things, for example, coming up at the end of this month, it is going to be my special retrospective event on the 26th. Mark your calendars. Saturday, the 26th, just a little bit over 2 weeks away. Marathon, where we're going to be going down memory lane and watching your favorite moments as me being a content creator here on YouTube. Now, I need you guys to nominate those moments. You can do that right now by typing !retrospective in the chat, and every 15 minutes or so, there'll be a link that'll pop up, which you can click on, and you can nominate your favorite moments. Please keep doing that. The more nominations we have, the much better that event will be. So please do that if you can, okay? Channel members get priority in that event. Channel members have their own special thread for members only on the community tab of this channel where you can nominate, and we're going to go through member nominations first before we go to the general nominations. So you get big priority if you do that, all right? So please consider becoming a member or gifting memberships. Let's keep that momentum going. Today we're doing GTA and Chrono Trigger. We'll talk about that in a second. But we can definitely hit 515 members today. Let's get that going, please. Support the channel if you can. Thanks in advance. All right, let's talk schedule. So today, we continue on with the chill vibes, the interactive nature and fun of the GTA 5 Anniversary Run playthrough. It's been a great playthrough so far. I've definitely enjoyed it. I've had a great time interacting with you. You guys have been helping me to learn things to do in the game, find optional content. We already got Packy for the first heist, and then we got a new heist or crew member for the next heist that we found, and I'm sure there'll be more coming, and you guys will tell me about those, right? Anything hidden. For example, someone said, did you know there's an alien abduction mission? No, I did not. So we're going to do that later on in the game. You guys already told me it's up in the hills. We can do it whenever we want. So we'll probably do that at some point, and go from there. It's fun. I want to do all the content that I didn't find in my original playthrough 10 years ago. I want to do in this run. Make it kind of a completionist run. I'm not saying I need to collect every collectible. That's going to take too long, but it certainly would be fun to go around doing all these cool missions and things I didn't do in the first time. And also, like I said, we have all the way until Starfield comes out. We've got almost a month. So it's not like we're in some big rush. We're going to have multiple streams a week where we can go through and take our time and enjoy the game at our own pacing. So we're good, right? There's no big deal here. We can enjoy everything. So hope you guys will join me, obviously, on this fun journey. That's my first stream today. Later tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it's the continuation of Chrono Trigger, which we just started the other night on my new mini PC. And even though we had some technical difficulties, I think we ironed them out. And having a good time with that. I urge you, if you enjoy throwback playthroughs, if you want to see a game that I have passion for, a game that I grew up playing, I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite RPGs of all time. And you want to see that, definitely tune in for those streams. Because a lot of people say, wow, we love it when Phil looks passionate about something he's doing on stream. Well, I love this game. I really enjoyed those first 2 hours. People were saying it, wow, Phil looks so happy. Because I am. Playing this game, I'm going to have a ton of fun. I know it. I just hope that you guys will continue to show up and please support those throwback retro streams. You know, that was honestly 10 years ago, the last time I played Chrono Trigger. I was trying to enjoy the playthrough and I got a lot of pushback. People saying, why are you playing old games? Only play new releases or classics that we like GTA. Why are you playing Chrono Trigger? This is an old game. We don't care about it. And I was kind of insulted. I'm like, dude, this is one of the classics. This is one of the games, right, that laid the groundwork for future video games. How can you say you wouldn't want to watch a playthrough or appreciate this game? I was actually like, wow, people just seem to be very close-minded a decade ago on YouTube. They were actually telling me that. And I was like, wow, that's ridiculous. So now I get to play this game with an interactive audience. I get to retell stories. I get to, you know, experience this gameplay live with you, which I didn't get to do 10 years ago because I wasn't being that interactive streamer 10 years ago. It was just me kind of playing the game for myself and ignoring my audience, and now I have that interactive audience, okay? So please tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, join me for the Chrono Trigger fun, all right? Now, some people are mentioning Sea of Stars. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Don't worry, okay? We'll talk about that in a bit. That's one of my game news stories, all right? Cool. Tomorrow, it is Street Fighter Friday, but it's a weird day, so allow me to explain. Here's what we're doing tomorrow. First of all, we're going to do our usual Level 1 podcast, okay? But tomorrow, I'm going to be interrupted at some point during the stream, noon-ish, okay? Noon-ish. It could be noon. It could be a little later. I'm not sure, all right? So, tomorrow during the podcast, I very well may be interrupted and say, all right, guys, we got to cut the podcast short. This is, you know, we got some stuff going on behind the scenes, and I'll be back. When I'm back, I'll let you know. I'll post up on social media. I'll post up on the community tab at DSPGaming, and I'll start the stream back when I can. Or we may be doing the podcast and do the whole podcast like we usually do all the way to the usual time, and then I'll be like, well, I haven't been interrupted yet. Well, we got to wait. You know, what are you going to do? The good news is it's a Street Fighter stream. Because it's Street Fighter, it's all right. It's not like, oh, I'm going to start a narrative-based playthrough. I have to cut a part short. We can easily play matches. We can stop playing when I need to. We can resume when I need to. So it's not a huge deal that the stream will be interrupted tomorrow. What's annoying is I don't know exactly the time, and I don't know how long. That's the real problem. I'll tell you this. It ain't going to be super long. There's absolutely no reason why this interruption would be, like, longer than at most an hour. At most. Even if that long. It might not even be that long. Okay? So, hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's fast. We can get right back to Street Fighter right after the fact. Okay? I hope. So, let's see what happens. All right? So, that's tomorrow's daytime stream. What am I doing? Well, it's going to be ranked gameplay with E Honda. E Honda I played with 1 week ago for the first time in ranked. He was in Diamond 1, and I got him all the way up to Diamond 3. I was kicking ass with E Honda and doing really well. And now I'm back on PS5. Well, I'm on PS5 for the first time with my new stick, and we got to start over. So we're going to do the ranked placement matches again, and then we're going to jump into ranked and see how we do. I really hope we can get Honda to Diamond. Seriously. Like, it's really going to suck if Honda ends up bottom of Platinum just like Blanca was. That's going to be atrocious because it's going to be such a boring climb fighting those players who literally I'm just not in their league. I'm above them in skill-wise. And that's not to shit-talk them. It's to say it's just boring to have to play against people who I know I'm going to slap around, you know? We're going to talk about this in a moment because I actually have my results here from the other day with Blanca. That's the first thing we're going to do before we get to game news. And It's just frustrating that the game placed me like it did with Blanca, and I'm stuck. So it's going to be Honda tomorrow when I get to play. I don't know if it's going to be earlier. I don't know if we're going to take that break first. We have to see. I don't know, but there will be an interruption on that first stream. Now, the late stream tomorrow night, Friday Night Fights, will also be Street Fighter. And dependent on how the first stream goes, it'll determine. But it very well may just be E Honda all day long tomorrow as I attempt to get better and pull him up the ranks in Street Fighter 6. We'll see what happens. Okay? Fair enough? All right. So Street Fighter 6 all day long tomorrow. Likely Honda ranked matches. Saturday, more GTA 5 on the daytime stream. Saturday night is that special tier maker event I told you about. It'll be over on DSP Reacts, my sister channel. You can find that at youtube.com/@DSP Reacts. This tier maker is going to be fun. All right? This tier maker is going to be me ranking all of my Game of the Year award picks, first and second place, for the last 12 years. 24 games. And we're going to count them down from best to worst. We're going to rank them. And then what's going to end up happening is I know people are going to argue, no. How dare you put that game still up there? That game's outdated now. Put it down here. No, this game still is a classic. Put it up there. We're going to have argument. It's going to be a fun tier maker. It is. I feel like it's going to take us at least an hour to even do the initial placings and then an hour of arguments. Right? So, I hope you'll join me for that. Saturday night is going to be a very fun event over on DSP Reacts. Sunday's daytime stream will be DSP versus the Internet. This is my weekly Clips React show where I watch back clips that are nominated by the channel members over there. We have a ton of channel members over there now, over 130. So it's going to be a lot of nominations this week. Curious to see what we get to. Remember, Ultra members, we watch their videos for sure. Standard members are put into a random select playlist as selected by YouTube. And my apologies because some people are like, oh, I didn't get selected. That's YouTube. That's the nature of the beast, is that YouTube is random. And when it goes into a random select deal, you know, you never know what you're going to get, right? So, Captain DCW says, why am I wearing sunglasses? Because it's summertime party vibes around here, Captain. What do you think? Come on, man. No reason. Do I need a reason to wear sunglasses? Maybe because things are looking so good, the future's so bright, I got to wear shades. Or maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. There you go. Anyway, so Sunday, it is DSP versus the Internet on the day stream, and the night stream on Sunday, we're going to do more Chrono Trigger. Okay? Monday will be Street Fighter 6 on the day stream, and likely Community Night in Street Fighter 6 on the late stream. So day stream ranked, night stream community night. Tuesday will be GTA 5, probably paired with more Chrono Trigger. And then Wednesday we'll probably do Street Fighter paired with something at night. And I'm leaning towards maybe doing a World Tour stream this week. All right, so we haven't done one in many weeks. So we do a chill World Tour stream that night. And then Thursday, probably more GTA 5 and more Chrono Trigger. So if you do the math in your head, that's like 9 to 12 hours of GTA 5, right? That's going to be 6 to 8 hours of Chrono Trigger. That's going to be 2 to 3 ranked major streams of Street Fighter. It's a lot of gameplay this week, which is good. It's good to be getting in a ton of gameplay because if you look, the last several months, there's been a lot of time away from gameplay. A lot of React events and things that have been taking us away from that. And there is a special React event at the end of the month on the 26th. So this week is all about major progress in every game that I'm playing and having a lot of fun with you guys. Okay? So I hope you appreciate that. Now, the next week, since I'm off that Friday, means I'm going to be here starting Monday. I can't even tell you the schedule for next week yet because the whole thing is screwed up. Like I told you, there was a reason why I had an 8-day week this week, and that reason got changed. And so that schedule for that next week is going to be screwed up. In fact, I just want to forewarn everyone. As you guys know, Armored Core 6. Is it 6? Whatever this Armored Core game is, it comes out on Friday the 25th. I think I need to have my day off then, which sucks because that wasn't the original intended thing, but it looks like I have to. Like I have no choice. And that really stinks. So I probably won't be able to be here for the release day of Armored Core. The bummer with that is my marathon's the next day, and DSP versus the Internet is the next day. So I probably can't even play Armored Core until that Monday, which really sucks. But life sometimes screws you. And what can you do? Like, I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. You know, I want to play the game on release day, but I don't think I can be here that day. So if I can't be here, I can't play the game, and we already have pre-scheduled events. So looks like maybe I can't play it for several days. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. And my apologies to anyone who's dying to see me play Armored Core what can I do? Everything was laid out fine. I was scheduled to be here that day, and everything was going to work. And then things are working behind the scenes against me and screwing up my schedule, which I don't appreciate, but I don't have control over. That's life, right? So, we'll see what happens. See, that's the thing. So, just change the schedule. I can't. These things are not things that I control. I wish I could make every person on planet Earth work the way that I want. That's not how life works, you know. There's things that are outside of the realm of things that I can influence and change that are happening. They have nothing to do with this stream or anything, so you don't need to know what the specifics are, but I can't really do anything about them, okay? So it is what it is. I'll let you know next week's schedule. I mean, we have 8 days of streaming before we even start thinking about that. I'll let you know next week's schedule when we get closer to it, when I get more details. Right now, I prefer not to get that ahead of myself since I'm not exactly sure everything that's going on yet, okay? Fair enough? Okay. Now, before we get to game news, I want to do a little bit of an update regarding Street Fighter 6. So, as you guys know, if you've been following along my progress in Street Fighter 6, you would know that I got a welcome email for buying Street Fighter 6 on PlayStation. That's pretty funny, actually. Anyway, as you know, if you've been following my progress in Street Fighter 6, I had to restart my progress in Ranked because I switched consoles. I'm now playing on PS5, and that's for 2 reasons, okay? Number 1, because Mortal Kombat is coming up, right? And that's, by the way, Mortal Kombat will be a huge part of next week's schedule, just so you guys know. I believe the beta is the 18th to the 21st. Now, it looks like I won't be here on the 18th. Okay, that's Friday. That's my day off. So probably that weekend, the entire weekend will likely be me playing Mortal Kombat 1. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll push DSP versus the internet till Monday next week. So that way, so not this week coming, but the week after. So that way I have more time for the Mortal Kombat beta. Unless the beta, I have to check the dates because I'm not 100% on what days. If the beta continues all the way through the 21st, then maybe I'll do the beta all day Saturday. Sunday we'll do DSP versus the internet and something different, and then I'll play it all day Monday too. I don't know. I gotta confirm the dates. If anyone knows the exact dates of the Mortal Kombat 1 beta, let me know. But anyway, so I'm getting Mortal Kombat 1 on PS5 because it's not cross-platform at launch, and I want to have the maximum player base. All right. The problem is I didn't have anything good to play fighting games on PS5. My old joysticks were worn out, so I got this new stick, the Kanba Q7 Quantum 2. It's really good. I'm getting used to it. I'm breaking it in, essentially. Okay, I need to break in this joystick by playing it more. But I played it the other day, and it worked really well. Had a few things that feel a little different. The joystick itself is a lot tighter than my stick that I was using. But I had to restart all my rankings because rankings don't carry over from platform to platform, which is really dumb. Capcom makes you make your own thing called a Capcom ID. They make you link it to all of your accounts that you play Capcom games on, and then it literally serves no purpose whatsoever. It doesn't carry your progress over, which is stupid as hell, in my opinion. So, I started over, and I started playing with Blanca, and the game essentially screwed me with the placement matches. First of all, it gave me 2 matches against a diamond-ranked Guile, who, in my opinion, is the counter to Blanca in the game, who sat there, turtling, throwing sonic booms the whole round, and I couldn't beat him. So I lost 2 placement matches to him. Then I play a Ryu, and this Ryu is the luckiest Ryu I've ever seen. He's throwing out Hail Marys that are getting insanely lucky. Like, jab, 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 level 3 super, just mashing because he didn't know what to do, and he was about to lose the game, and he does 50% damage to me, and I lose the round. Shit like that. So, basically, I lose half my placement match. Oh, the last placement match was a joke. It was insanely laggy, and there was no way to get out of it. I was stuck playing an insanely laggy placement match, and there was nothing I could do, so obviously I was going to lose it. So, they put me in Platinum 1, which is ludicrously stupid. I'm a Master Level Blanca on Xbox, but I'm a Platinum Level 1 on PlayStation. Right, Capcom, you guys really know what you're doing. So, I proceeded then for about 3 hours to literally destroy everyone that I played in rank. So, to give you some perspective, okay, here's the results of Tuesday's streams with Blanca. You ready for this? 69 wins, 12 losses, 5 of those losses being the ranked matches, only one person in the platinum level actually beat me a set. I think it was a jury, I want to say. Literally everyone else I beat the set. I would lose an off game here or there to a little bit of lag or a little bit of me messing up because I'm using my new joystick. I'm making some input errors, doing the wrong moves. So I didn't win nonstop, but I definitely, this is the most winning I've ever had. 85% win-loss ratio. By far the best win-loss ratio I've had in Street Fighter 6 since I started playing it in June. No surprise. I shouldn't be in platinum. That's the point I'm making. It's ridiculous. These matches are literally a waste of my time, except for the fact that I am getting used to the new joystick. So at least that came out of it. But what are you going to do? I didn't want to play at that level. It's idiotic that that's how their placement system works. I mean, it's just dumb. And by the way, if you guys didn't know, they passed Street Fighter 6. They changed the ranking system. So here's what it used to be. If you get placed low like I did, but you get a win streak, the win streaks will increase your point income. So let's say I had a 10 win streak. Instead of getting 50 points, I'll be getting 100. So I'm doubling the speed at which I level up to get back to Diamond, which is the level I should be at least. They took it out. Why? Why did you take it out, stupid? What purpose did you take that system out? It made sense to have it. Why would you take out that ranking system? Is it... I have no idea. So now every match is like 40, 50 points, and you have to grind hundreds of matches to get to the rank that I was at. It doesn't make any fucking sense. They changed it for no reason just because they're stupid. So, yeah, it was crazy. Like I said, a ridiculous amount of matches. I did some casual matches with Blanca too. But I don't think that I recorded them here. Well, actually, they are recorded, but I think they were in an email, actually. Hold on. Hold on a second. It's not a big deal. Basically, I played some casual matches off camera to warm up, with the joystick. So it was like 10 or 12 wins I had with Blanca off camera. So we don't really need to count those or whatever. They're not really important. But someone had noticed that when I went to play with Blanca, it already said I had a 12 win streak. I was like, yeah, those are casual matches I did off camera to break in the joystick. So anyway, yeah, so Blanca is now at 3-star platinum. It's still going to take like another 150 matches. I wish I was joking to get him to any kind of a respectable level. It's probably going to take me a million years now to get him to master for no good reason. And I'm probably going to continue to spank the players I beat. I don't know what else to say. Like, anyone I play in platinum is not really going to hang with me unless they get lucky. Like, that one person so far has beaten me a set. That's it. It's going to be very rare because, I'm playing at a higher level. And it's just dumb that I'm in that ranking. I don't want to be beating up these people who are just learning. But what can I do? It's stupid, but that's how the game works. So, anyway, outside of that, we also had our viewer night, our community lobby night the other night. And I started with Honda, and then I swapped to a bunch of characters. So here's how I did. With E-Honda, I had 17 wins and 3 losses. With Dalsim, I had 3 wins and 2 losses. With Marisa, I had 14 wins and 3 losses. And that threw me for a loop because I haven't played with Marisa in ages. I'm only using her for community nights now. Like, I stopped using her ranked. Honestly, I don't really think I like her that much. So I kind of didn't play with her for a long time. But I got a crazy win streak against the viewers. I don't know why. Lily, 4 wins and 3 losses. I felt rusty with her for sure. Zangief, 6 wins and 3 losses. Luke, I couldn't even remember how to play with Luke. It's now been weeks since I used him. I'd have to get back into it because I couldn't even figure out a basic strategy or combo with him. I got 2 straight losses. So overall, 44 wins and 16 losses during community night the other night. So overall now, what are my stats? Because guess what? I am now at, listen to this, 1,974 wins, 1,361 losses, 59% win rate. I increased my win rate by 1% with that big streak that I got with Blanca. Chances are, if I continue with these streaks, I'll keep upping my win rate. There's nothing I can really do about that, right? I know that it's kind of unfair to be beating up these players at that level, but I didn't choose to play at that level. The game tossed me there because it's stupid, okay? So, here's the thing. Now, guys, guess what? We got a milestone approaching. We are approaching my 2,500th win in Street Fighter 6. And I think we should start counting it out. We very well could hit that this week because I'm playing tomorrow. I'm playing Monday and Wednesday. So in 3 days of ranked sessions, you know, in each session, roughly, I end up getting like 50 some wins. We're gonna start getting there. You know, we're gonna probably get 2,200 and another week. So we're getting there. We could start the climb to 2,500 wins. All right, it'll be a little slow. It's not gonna be super fast, but another couple of weeks we'll probably hit it. So I'll start tracking that for you guys now to see when we can hit that 2,500th win in Street Fighter 6. All right, so there you go. All right, that's the status of Street Fighter 6. Let's now get to game news. Ready for this? We should think. All right, here's the deal. We need to think of a name for this segment. What should I call my gaming news segment? What do you guys think? Let's think of a name for it today. What's a good name for a gaming news segment for the show? The level 1 news? Phil's News Feast? That's stupid. We gotta think of a name. Let's think of a catchy name for the news segment. No, not the gaming noose. We're not killing someone. Oh, news. Wow, you really put a lot of thought into that one. News. Yeah. Good work. Phil's news segment brought to you by DSP. All right, you know what? Forget it. Don't think up a name for the gaming news segment. These are awful. These are terrible. I thought you guys would come up with something better than that. Wow. Phil's news feed. Gaming news sponsored by Mamita's tequila cocktails. There you go. We got a new segment sponsored by Mamita's. No, it's a nude segment. Right, take all my clothes off. No, it's not. Newsing with Phil. That's terrible. On the loop. On the loop. DSP's daily news. What's going on, Jade? Weekend update? No. I don't only do the news on weekends. No. All right, how about this? Let's think about it. You guys start thinking about what you want to call the news segment. All right? DSPN, DSP News, DSPN. Welcome to DSPN. Now let's get right into the news. Oh, God, no. Can't say that. Some other idiot uses that too much. DSPN, what do you think about that? The gaming news recap with Papa Phil. Papa? I'm not Papa Phil. What are you talking about? I'm not your father. Will there be a travel and weather segment? Some days, yes, there will be. Absolutely. You like DSPN? Dark Side Phil News? So instead of ESPN, it's DSPN. All right, get on it. DSPN, start making logos and artwork that we can use here on the podcast for the news segment. And I'll put up the logo when we get to the news segment. That sounds like a plan. Now open submissions for DSPN. Now accepting. Thank you very much. All right, anyway. News. News piece number 1. Do you remember several years ago, it was announced that with the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake, that there was also going to be spin-off games. What happened to them? Well, one of them's finally coming out. It's called Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. It's going to be released on iOS and Android September 7th. September 7th. Do you understand the significance of that? That was also the release date of Final Fantasy VII back in the 1990s. September 7th. So it's weird that it's also this game is also coming out September 7th. What is it? I actually don't know. I don't know what the game is. I might check it out just to see what it is. It's a mobile game coming out on September 7th, and I might give it a shot and let you guys know, what it is and how it plays. But I don't know if it's an RPG. I don't know if it's, who knows? If it's a mobile game, it's some bullshit where you gotta spend a ton of money to fucking play it, right? It'll be free to play, and you'll be able to play it for like 20 hours free, and then all of a sudden you'll hit a wall and you can't have any fun unless you dump $500 on the game. So that's literally what it is. That's what all these mobile games are. But we'll see. I might give it a shot and go from there. Okay? So I'll let you know, but September 7th, mark your calendars, and I will likely try it out. Although, let me see if I can sign up for it ahead of time on my phone, because I forgot to check yesterday. Let's see. Sometimes you can search for these things early. Coming soon. Here it is. All right, so I just signed up for the pre-order thing. So what ends up happening is I'll be notified. I'll be notified when it's coming out. It's supposed to be September 7th for like a pre-download or whatever. And I'll probably check it out to let you guys know what the game is. Okay? Sound good? All right. There you go. Okay. PlayStation has some news that's not very good. PlayStation, in their latest financial reports that they just released yesterday, stated that a portion of their first-party games that originally were being planned for fiscal year 2023, which essentially means they were supposed to come out by March 2024, are now going to see some delays. So apparently there's been some issues with first-party titles being developed for Sony consoles. Now, what are the games? They didn't disclose that. So I guess all they're trying to say to investors is don't expect the financial performance to be as good as we thought because our games are coming out later, but we don't know exactly what games. So the question is, what were the Sony games coming out by March? I'm not sure. If we take a look, maybe if there was like a, expected releases. Like, for example, if you just take a look at games for the end of the year. Okay? Were any of these games Sony? I mean, Starfield, no. Lies of P, no. Mortal Kombat 1, no. Cocoon, I don't know what the fuck that is. Detective Pikachu, no. Forza, no. Assassin's Creed Mirage, no. Lords of the Fallen, no. The Grinch Christmas Adventures, uh-oh. Was that Sony? No, I don't think so. Alan Wake 2, no. Okay, Spider-Man 2, uh-oh. That's slated for October 20th. Don't tell me Spider-Man 2 is getting delayed. Now, that hasn't been officially announced yet. I'm just looking at the Sony exclusives. That could be terrible. I hope that doesn't get delayed. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, no. City Skylines 2, no. Alone in the Dark, no. WarioWare, no. Like a Dragon Gaiden, no. Persona 5 Tactics? Is that a PlayStation exclusive? I don't think so, right? Super Mario RPG Remake, no. Modern Warfare 3, no. No. So literally the only game I can even think of is Spider-Man 2. That's like a big high-profile game coming out this quarter, or this year, I meant to say, fiscal year. I wonder what else they had coming out. Anyway. Let's hope it's nothing too big and nothing too major, and it doesn't really screw things up. Let's hope for the best. Okay? All right, continuing on. PlayStation Plus games have been announced for this month. The standard games coming to PlayStation Plus are Sea of Stars, Destiny 2 Witch Queen, Lost Judgment, Dreams, Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, and Cursed to Golf. Out of all those, the one that sounds interesting is Sea of Stars, which apparently is a game that is supposedly inspired by Chrono Trigger. Now, we just started Chrono Trigger. All right? Obviously, I'm going to play Chrono Trigger first. Am I interested in Sea of Stars? I am. But let's play the classic. Let's enjoy it. And then we'll decide if we want to do Sea of Stars or not. Okay? But for me, the classic definitely comes first. All right? If you have PS Premium, so not the standard PS Plus, but PS Premium, here's what you get this month. Are you ready? Medieval Resurrection, Ape Escape on the Loose, and Pursuit Force. So clear your schedules. There's no other games you're going to want to play but those three. Those are the best possible offerings that they could possibly give you. What are they thinking? Those games stupid. Who's going to play those? Especially now when we're heading into the home stretch of the summer before the hardcore gaming season. Who's going to care about those games? Wow, that's bad. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're thinking with this. The other news story is very weird. It's been revealed and discovered that Nintendo has patented many gameplay mechanics of the game Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. However, the things that they've supposedly patented are common game elements that almost all video games have, so it's completely confusing that they were able to patent them, and it doesn't make any sense because they're already common in so many games beforehand that it doesn't seem that it would have been legal that they could have patented them at all. All right? Allow me to give you an example. Here's one word for word out of the patent. Put simply, the game judges when Link is making contact with a movable object underneath him, and if the object moves, Link will automatically move in the same way and speed as the object does without any input being made. Oh, you know, like when you're standing on a moving platform in any video game and your character moves along with the platform, which is present in pretty much every video game ever freaking made that has movement. So how did they patent that? Right? It doesn't make sense. If they patented that, then how on earth could anyone make a video game ever again? Anything that moves in a game that you're standing on and you move with it is now patented and owned by Nintendo? What are you talking about? Right? And apparently that patent went through. It's, you know what it sounds to me? I hate to say it. It's frivolous bullshit. It's any of these patent companies, right? They'll take your money, and then what'll happen is they don't care if it ends up being held up. They just want to take your money. You know? Right now, I could probably patent the dumbest thing possible. Like for example, I could probably patent this egg. And they would take my money to do it. But then if anyone had an issue, like, what are you talking about? There's a million of these eggs that exist. You can't just patent that. So then someone would just, you know, make it go to a court case. And of course, you would easily lose the case, right? Your patent wouldn't hold up. And therefore, you wasted your time and money. But the patent company is just going to take your money because they want to rip you off. Because it certainly sounds to me like Nintendo really got screwed here. How on earth do you ever think that that patent will hold up in court? There's been ridiculous amounts of video games that have used it before, and it's not a unique element to anything Nintendo has literally ever done. It's been done to death in video games, so you can't patent it then. You understand? A patent is for something that's supposed to be like an original thing you did, and then you made it your own by protecting its creativity. Literally, that is nothing creative that Nintendo has done. Everyone's doing it. So, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense at all that they would try to patent that. That would be like right now, someone took a bucket and said, I'm patenting the idea of a bucket. What are you talking about? Buckets have been used for how many millions of years by humans to move water and liquids around. Well, I don't care. I'm patenting it today. No, you can't, stupid. It's a bucket. Everyone uses it, right? So, it's really weird. The way that this is done, because people are pulling this stuff up and they're like, it's bizarre that Nintendo went through with this and then a patent company proceeded with it and apparently filed it and it's legal even though it will never hold up. It's just very odd. So I don't know. People are kind of laughing at the whole thing. And they're like, what is going on here? You know, it just seems like a really stupid situation. Will anything come of it? I don't know. It's a good question. I guess we'll have to see. Hopefully not. Can you imagine if someone's developing a game and gets a cease and desist from Nintendo? Oh, we own the patent on moving platforms, so you can never use a vehicle or a platform ever in a video game? Like, what are you talking about? Right? I don't know. There you go. Anyway, that's the gaming news for today. That is DSPN, DSP's gaming news for today. Again, I'm open to accepting logos Maybe a little music ditty that I could play. DSPN. There you go. All right. Well, that's done. Guys, it's now time to head into our favorite segment. It's a little segment I like to call Shout-Outs. It's my favorite segment. So, it's time to say thank you to those who have supported and contributed to the stream so far today already, before we even got started with any gameplay. So let's do it to it, shall we? Let's do it to it right now. We start off today with Meatball Man, who re-upped their membership for 2 months in a row and says, humidity sucks. It gives me shit. It gives me terrible swamp butt. Swampy, sweaty booty cheeks. That is nasty and is way too much information. We did not need to know that. However, I do appreciate you supporting this channel and the stream. So thank you very much for re-upping your membership this morning. But keep your swampy, sticky, nasty, sweaty, sliding, greased up cheeks to yourself. We don't need to know about that. Especially the stench. Don't tell us about that either. All right. Continuing on. Thank you for that. Tips. We got a few tips to shout out today. So let's start off today with a $5 tip. Thank you so very much to Jimmy James Jr. Okay? Huh? I don't know. Jimmy James Jr. says, I am pumped for GTA 5 today. Thank you very much, Jimmy James Jr. It's Triple J. Jimmy James Jr. How nice. Okay. So I'm going to call you Triple J. Jimmy James Jr. The $5 tip. I appreciate. What the heck? It's 5 rubles. No, it's $5. Don't know why I had R there. Rubles. All right. Thank you for the first tip of the day. Triple J. Our second tip of the day is a $5 tip from Canadian Kirk. Thank you to Canadian Kirk for a $5 tip. And Canadian Kirk says the following. There are a few videos on YouTube of people crying at the end of their Final Fantasy 16 playthroughs. Wah! I too got emotional at the end, but I felt Clive's death was a wasted death. How do you feel on the inside? First of all, I think what we should clarify here, all right? That the ending of Final Fantasy 16 is ambiguous. All right? It is. It's an ambiguous ending. They did it on purpose because, once again, they kind of pussed out. And they didn't want to fully explain the ending, so that way you can figure it out for yourself, right? If you want to think that the protagonist did not survive, if you want to think that maybe there was a small chance he did survive, it doesn't really matter in the scheme of the plot. It doesn't, actually, okay? I would tend to believe that, yes, there was a loss at the end of the game, and I think that was intentionally designed that way, but I think they purposefully didn't show stuff on purpose because, there might be a chance. That's stupid in my opinion, but it is what it is. You know, I do believe that, yes, the protagonist probably died. Now, did I feel anything emotional? Maybe a tiny bit. You know, when you spend that amount of time with a character, you know, even if it's not the best game, there were some times during the game, I would say, like emotional moments when there was like flashbacks to their family and stuff like that. That's kind of emotional for me. You know, thinking to my family and stuff like that. As you know, my father was actually an archduke, and he ruled for quite some time with an iron fist. And because of that, you know, when I'm seeing the archduke do things in the game, I'm also remembering the regal upbringing that I had. And okay, I'm messing around, but the point I'm making is that some of the stuff, you know, you could maybe have some moments in the playthrough where you have ties to your own experiences, you know, with your own family or loved ones or whatever. But honestly, for me, like, it was very hard to feel any kind of true attachment to the characters or whatever, just because the game's pacing was so poor, you know? Like, you're spending time with these characters, that's great, but a lot of the time is wasted doing bullshit. So you don't really care about what you're doing half the time in the game. You lose track of the important things. If this game was a 20-hour streamlined game, it probably would have hit harder with emotion. But when it's a 40 to 50-hour game where 20 to 30 hours is insanely boring dialogue and crappy quests wedged in to pad the game, it makes it that you don't care anymore, right? That's sad that when the game was completed, I was like relieved. That's real sad. You shouldn't ever feel that way with a good game. It should always be bittersweet. Oh, it's good that we beat it and we saw the resolution to the plot, but at the same time, it's kind of sad that it's over. I was not sad that Final Fantasy 16 was over. I was quite happy. That's not good. So, no, definitely for me, I look at it, I'm like, no, I'm not blown away. I'm not full of emotion when the game ended. You know, it could have ended literally in any way. I probably wouldn't have cared, okay? So, it is what it is. Continuing on. I received a $2 tip from Gabriel. Is a Nintendo patent specific to the character Link? Does the terms used in the patent specify moves that Link does versus the move in general? That's a good question. That's a pretty good question, Gabriel. I haven't. All I've seen is like what people posted up on social media, so I have not specifically seen the full patent filings. So maybe you're right. If it is just saying Link, 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 you're right. You're absolutely right. It maybe Nintendo was saying you can only use our character Link in this capacity, right? Which would make sense, but if that's the case, then it didn't have to be a patent. That's already intellectual property with a trademark associated. Like Link is an intellectual property that's trademarked. So regardless of what they patent as a gameplay mechanic, they still have the trademark on Link. So for example, you couldn't just use Link in your video game without paying for the rights to use him because he's trademarked by Nintendo. The patent has no ruling on that. It's the trademark. So it doesn't make sense that they would call out Link in this way. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. The patent itself is confusing. It makes no sense that Nintendo even filed for these patents. You see? I think that's where the confusion's coming in. Anyway, continuing on. Tyler, thank you for a $1 tip. He says, I love your content. Thank you, Tyler. This was a $1 tip. Thank you very much, Tyler, for the tip. Appreciate that. Okay. Anso Kamaru tipped me $2 and says, anyone who says Chrono Trigger isn't worth playing doesn't like JRPGs, period. It's considered by the community as one of the greatest ever made and one of the godfathers of the genre. Did you know the composer, Yasunori Mitsuda, worked so hard on the soundtrack, he fell gravely ill and then had to ask Nobuo Uematsu to help out while he recovered. The love that went into the OST really shines. The game gets quite confusing toward the end if you don't know what to do or where to go, so good luck. Oh, I know. Because basically the ending is open is kind of like a mystery of what you're supposed to do. And you have to figure it out for yourself based on all the time periods and things that you've been to. You have to figure out what to do. So I remember. But it's good, though. It's very good. It's a very, very good game. I cannot wait to keep playing it. I love, 100% love Chrono Trigger. It's one of my favorites of all time. Cannot wait to continue playing it. Thank you for the tip, Anso Kamaru. All right. We got a little bit of extra time. So if you guys would like to ask me questions, please tag me in the chat here. Okay? What's up, Juan de Ortega? How you doing? RG Beef says Link shows up in multiple properties where he's outsourced to other developers internal to Nintendo, like Smash Brothers, so a patent is necessary to keep it within the dev team. That's still confusing to me, though. Like, it's Nintendo. Why do they need to file a patent to stop other people who work at Nintendo from doing something? That doesn't make sense. Right? Oh, really? Captain DCW says he'll be flying next week to Tennessee with a layover in Atlanta. Well, have fun. Hopefully, I haven't flown in a very long time. What, 2019? I certainly hope that you have safe travels and hopefully not too much annoyance. Things are definitely back to normal since COVID now. Like, everyone's full capacity on every plane and everything again. And, I wish you the best. I hope that you're safe. And I hope you have a good trip. I don't know what you're going for, but hopefully it's a good one. Let's see here. Charles says, earlier on, it looked like your main characters were Blanca, Geef, Lily, and Luke. What did Honda do to rise so quickly in your ranks? I tried using him, and I did good, and I like his build. I'll be honest, I don't think Honda's top tier at all. No. I think Honda, like most of these characters who aren't fast enough or don't have a fireball, he will be dominated by mid-range players who zone him, and he will be dominated by rushdown. Right now, Honda's biggest shortcoming is that the move that you would use for his reversal, his OD headbutt, overdrive headbutt, can be thrown. So if anyone tries to rush and attack you, you can hit him with the headbutt and not get him off. But the moment they dash and throw, he really has no answer. He has to just guess and try to break the throw. That's it. So that's his biggest shortcoming right now. I have no way to stop people in the corner mixing me up because I have no true reversal. They could throw through what's supposed to be my reversal. That's not good. Okay, that's actually a pretty big problem, in my opinion. So, we'll see moving forward. We'll see how things go with the character, but I think just simply because I've been playing with him and I did so well with him in the first couple sessions, that's why he's risen, in my opinion, as a character I'll use, but I don't know long-term if he'll end up being tournament worthy, being honest, but then again, I'm not going to tournaments, so I don't really care. So there you go. Let's see here. Huh? Someone tipped me $2, says, I loved our fabled match at FYE many years ago. Do you remember playing me because you brought me donuts and I thought that was super cool? Well, as of FYE used to be the entertainment and game store, all right, in my local mall, and they had an arcade. And that arcade I used to play at all the time. Games like Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and then later Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I played in tournaments there. I was part of running tournaments there. A lot of stuff like that. Now, specifically, do I remember playing someone in a specific tournament and bringing donuts? No, not really. But I'm not saying it didn't happen. There was actually a donut, probably like a Dunkin' Donuts, in that mall, right? So, likely that's what it was, is someone's thinking that one day I brought donuts to a tournament or something. But no, I specifically don't remember that bringing donuts to a particular tournament or anything like that. That was a very long time ago. But I probably did do it. Okay. Wumba says, do you like Sanwa or Famitsu buttons better? So, if I'm remembering correctly, because I'm thinking back to the days of early Street Fighter 4, you're talking like 2009-ish. So these are Sanwa buttons. Sanwa buttons are very, I forget if this is concave or convex. It's the one that has the rounded dome top. That's how these buttons are. And when you click them, very quick response, very little input to push the button in. It's very little, okay? So you got to be careful with Sanwa buttons because they can be a little touchy. You don't want to, accidentally hit it. It's called convex. So these are convex. Okay. You got to be careful. And they also have, this nice sheen to them. See how they're, reflective buttons? Okay? Famitsu buttons are a little different. They're shaped slightly differently. They almost, while these are convex, which is kind of like a dome, a Famitsu button is almost like a plateau. How can I explain? It's almost like flat sides and then, a flat top. Like this, rather than being like this, it's kind of more like that, okay? And I remember with the Famitsu stick that I had, I liked it. I did like the feel of it. But the buttons felt a little bit, how can I say, these buttons kind of feel like a tight response. Famitsu's always felt a little bit looser to me. Yeah, I don't really know how else to describe it. They definitely have a different feel to them. I liked them. I had a joystick that I played on Xbox for Street Fighter 4 that had Famitsu buttons. And I actually really liked the Famitsu buttons. I didn't really have a problem with them. They have a different sound, too, when you click them. These buttons have a click. Hear the click? Famitsu's have almost like a plunger sound when you push them. So they must be built differently on the inside, whatever their design is. But personally, Sanwa has been the tournament standard for the longest time. These are the buttons you find on high-end competitive Japanese cabinets. These are the buttons you will find on most people's joysticks. So I'll go with the Sanwa. Okay? Okay. If Dark and Darker gets out of lawsuit hell, will I play it? I have no idea what that is. Double M says, do you think 2023 will end up being remembered as the best year for fighting games of all time? Well, you have to remember something. The reason that this year is notable, or the reason like 2009 was notable, these are almost like Renaissance years. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are years of rejuvenation for fighting games. Street Fighter 6 bringing back Street Fighter to the forefront of pop culture in a major way. Mortal Kombat's about to come out, the beta next weekend, and then, of course, you know, the game actually coming out in September, and that's another rejuvenation because they're rebooting the franchise again. You know what I mean? So that's cool that that's all happening at once. But you have to remember the 1990s. There were years in the 1990s where, like, every one of these major companies pumped out multiple games. You know, Capcom was pumping out multiple new releases in 1 year of different various franchises. Like, you would have a new Versus game in the Versus series, a new Street Fighter Alpha game, and Street Fighter 3 all coming out in the same year. You're like, holy shit. And that's all just from Capcom. Don't think about their competitors. Like, you know, back then it was Midway, not NetherRealm. There was no NetherRealm back then. We'd be like, oh, then Midway was pumping out a new Mortal Kombat. And Bandai Namco, of course, they were just Namco back then, was pumping out a new Tekken, right? Like, there were years where there was, like, insane amounts of fighting games back in the 90s. And it was just commonplace. It was a big fad back then. Fighting games were very, very popular back in the 90s, so it was common to see that many fighting games coming out at once. Today, it's a rarity to have a year when we have like 3 or 4 major fighting games coming out. That's why I think so many people are freaking out. Street Fighter 6 hit hard. It's a great game. It got tons of popularity, tons of attention. We're about to have MK1's going to probably do the same thing. Will Tekken 8 come out by the end of the year? I don't think so. I'm now starting to think it's going to come out first quarter 2024. And if it does, it'll probably also get big attention. So yeah, we're kind of in the new renaissance. You had the late 90s was the first renaissance. 2009 was the second renaissance. And now we're in the third rejuvenation and renaissance for fighting games right now. It really feels that way to me. So will this be the best year of all time? Arguable. In modern days, yes. In modern times, this absolutely is the best year for fighting game. But is it the best overall? Nah. The 90s were pretty strong. Are single-player games making a comeback? I don't think single-player games ever went anywhere. That was just bullshit you were hearing from major companies because they wanted you to buy their games as a service online bullshit games. So don't listen to them. Single-player games have always ruled. Am I going to play Lies of P? I don't know. There's a demo to play, and it is on Game Pass, so likely I'll give it a shot, but I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to play the whole thing. I'll probably give it a shot, you know, a stream or two and see if I like it and then go from there. Big Papa Phil says, are you not a fan of Hayabusa buttons? I have a Hori Real Arcade Pro 5 with the Hayabusas. Hold on. I like them, but there's a big difference compared to Sanwa. I don't know. What are the Hayabusas? I don't know if I've ever even played on a Hayabusa. What is a Hayabusa? Is that the buttons that I had in my Hori Real Arcade Pro Alpha? Are those Hayabusas? Because I'll be honest, I like the texture on them. Because they have, instead of, if that's what they are, all right, the Sanwa buttons are smooth on top. Super smooth. The Hayabusas have a texture. I enjoyed having the texture on the buttons. I thought it was nice. However, I do feel those Hayabusas were too touchy. There were times when I simply put my hand down next to the buttons and the game would give me an input as if I had touched a button fully when I know I didn't. So I think the Hayabusas may actually be a little bit overly sensitive for my tastes. But hey, if you want sensitive buttons, I think that's them. So what's going on? Is someone trying to talk to me but didn't tag me and therefore I'm missing their comments? Daxma is saying, did I piss you off at some point? No, Daxma. You never pissed me off. Why are you asking that? Because I'm not reading your comments? You have to tag me. Yeah, please tag me like everyone else is doing. Or else I can't see your comments. I won't know you're talking to me. My favorite Mortal Kombat characters. Who did I use the most in past MK games? Okay. Sorry, my throat. Stupid allergies. MK1 was probably Scorpion and Kano. MK2 was definitely Sub-Zero. And then after that, probably Melina. MK3 was absolutely Cyrax. I loved Cyrax's gameplay with the net and the bombs that could trick people into getting, comboed. And also Smoke. Robot Smoke. Okay? I also used Scorpion a lot in that one, too. Mortal Kombat 4, I hate it. I thought it was shit. They went to 3D, and it felt like they broke it. I remember I used Raiden a ton in that one. Because Raiden had an infinite combo where he could run up and snap your leg with a throw, and then run up and snap your leg with a throw, and then he would run up, and he would, get this, snap your leg with a throw, and it was an infinite. It was an infinite throw combo. The game was broken as shit at launch. They had to patch the game like 10 times to make it even like competitive viable. It was a broken mess. So I hated Mortal Kombat 4. And then after that, I didn't play Mortal Kombat again all the way till MK9. So I didn't play 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, yeah. That would, I would say, were my early favorites. There you go. Let's see here. X-Shooter. Thank you for the first super chat of the day. He says, would you replay Bioshock Infinite someday? Yes. I absolutely would. At the time, I thought it was a great game. My throat is really messed up today because of allergies. I'm sorry, guys. Ugh. I thought it was a great game when it came out a decade ago. And I would love to replay it someday. I've only played it the once. Its DLCs are outstanding, by the way, because they tie it to the original Bioshock. What I think of the upcoming Silent Hill games, I think they sound good. I don't know if they'll be good, but they sound good. Any more Silent Hill I'm down for. I love Silent Hill, and it's been too long. Man. How much discipline and dedication does it take to become a professional fighting game player? An insane amount. All right? First of all, I can only tell you from my perspective in the 2000s. In the 2000s, there were no teams. There were no sponsorships. You didn't make money playing fighting games at a pro level. You literally would travel, play, and even if you won, you likely wouldn't even win enough money to break even for what you spent on your trip. It was for the love of the game and for bragging rights only. There was no profession to be had playing fighting games. Even the top fighting game players weren't making a living doing it. All right? Let me tell you, it's just an insane amount of dedication because you got to be playing constantly. You have to. You have to be on your game. You can't get rusty. You can't forget strategies. You have to know every matchup in the game. You need to. You know, you need to know, all right, if my character is Chun-Li, I need to know how Chun-Li plays against every character in this game at top level. And I can't forget, and I can't drop my combos. And you got, the other thing a lot of people don't realize is the travel. The travel is absolutely ridiculous. Okay? Because you just can't play online. A lot of people have this misconception. I could just sit and play fighting games online and I'll be a pro player. Playing online and playing in person are different. Just that little added element of delay and issue with lag online makes you play in a style that a lot of times doesn't work in person. People will react to things in person way better than they do online. So there may be things that you get away with online, but then when you go to play at a tournament in person, you get shut down 10 times out of 10. People will break your throws more often. People will anti-air you when you jump more often. People will interrupt your hit strings more often. You're going to be frustrated because that didn't happen online. So, you have to be traveling constantly to play in in-person tournaments and face competition from all over the place in order to be tournament worthy. And that's insane amounts of money and time investment. Like, for example, I would never want to do it. Why? Because I have a nice family. I'm married. I'm happily married. I have a family with my wife and my pet cat. I love being here and spending time with them. I don't feel like I have enough time to spend with them now, streaming 6 days a week. Can you imagine if I became a pro fighting game player? I wouldn't even be home. I would have traveled to Evo. I'd be on the next major tournament, wherever it is. I'd be traveling the circuit, playing in these tournaments to stay at top level. And if I skip a tournament or two, that's to my detriment, and I'm going to play worse moving forward. I'll have no chance to hang. You see what I'm saying? So, it's crazy. It is a insane amount of time investment. Did I not tell you guys before Evo? What did I say? I said, these people who have these weird aspirations and pipe dreams to win Evo or win the Capcom Pro Circuit and win that $1 million prize, they're crazy. They'll never do it. You have to be signed to a team who's going to be financing your efforts to travel around the globe to play this game at a high level, and you need to be doing that. You will never find a casualized player or someone you never heard of winning one of these tournaments. Never again. It's become too much of a professional thing. It's got to be your life and your job. You understand? And what happened at Evo? Every single person who placed was on a sponsorship or team or both. Every single one had a sponsor, like I said, because they were playing full time. Take a look, Angry Bird, who won, he was playing in tournaments for months. Constant. You can see all his footage. You know, he actually had played against the Maynard, or Maynard, however you say his name. He had played against him just a couple weeks before in a tournament. So, that's what I mean. Like, this is what they're constantly doing. A person who's just sitting at home playing Street Fighter, and then they think they're going to go to a tournament and win, will never happen. There's too many people playing at a pro level, and this is their life. This is literally all they're doing. It's full commitment of time, money, and effort. I don't see how someone who has like a full-time family, right? Unless you're abandoning all of your responsibilities to your family to travel the globe to be a pro player, I don't see how you could even do it. It's that much of an investment, you know? Now, you can respect that. I'm not shit-talking at all. I'm just saying that's what it is. Like, for me, to look at this situation, people are like, you ever want to get back into competitive fighting games at that level? No. I love what my life that I have now with my family. I don't want to sacrifice that to be a pro player again. Fuck no. Maybe every once in a while, as things progress, will there be casual online tournaments? Maybe I'll do something like that. I would never think to travel to play Street Fighter ever again. Hell no, it's not worth it for me. Okay. Anyway, continuing on, Gaspavelli has re-upped his membership for 24 months. Thank you so much, Gaspavelli. Says, hey, Phil, hope you're doing well today. Thank you very much, Gaspavelli. Appreciate that. If you wonder why I haven't updated the leaderboard for members, it's because no one's been a new member. These are new renewing memberships, so they don't count as new. Do I prefer the 90s to 2000s days of fighting games where it wasn't ego-driven? It was 100% ego-driven. There was no money involved. It was all about ego back then. It was about who talked the biggest, who talked the most shit, who would create the most drama, who would create the most hype around the community. That's what it was about. Today, it's all about being professional, being signed to a team, being a streamer, making that money, making a living doing it. It wasn't like that back then. It was for the love of the game, the passion you had for it, and ego and bragging rights. That's all it was back then. Very different. Thank you. X-Shooter likes my new shirt. Thank you, X-Shooter. Love this shirt. I got a few new ones on my day off yesterday. You'll see them this week. Double M, I literally just answered the question. He says, if money was no longer an issue, you could travel freely to the tournaments, would you? No. Money is not, I'm telling you right now, it's not even the issue of money and everything. It's, I'm an older guy. I'm married now. I have a life. I don't want to travel to play Street Fighter anymore. Do you understand? I don't. I have no desire to sit in a ballroom or a convention hall for hours on end waiting for my name to be called to go play a few matches. And just sitting around like an idiot. I have no desire to do that. I want to be home with my family, having fun with them. That's meaningful to me, okay? A stinky, smelly convention, says Felix the May. I don't know. Like, I will only say this. There perhaps is one more tournament in me. Perhaps. Perhaps there's one more in my life. I'm serious about that, too. Like, if there's a reason for me to leave my home, my life, and my business to go to a tournament for some reason, maybe it's like it's the biggest Super Turbo tournament ever held, and therefore everyone is coming out of the woodwork, out of retirement to play in it, and you know what I mean? Like, it'll be highly publicized and they want the best players from overtime to come, and they want me to come just to prove that I was actually good at Super Turbo rather than everyone shit-talking me for a million years. You know, maybe I would consider that. That's about it. Like, I don't see a reason to go to any tournaments. Okay? I don't. What about online challenges against good players? I already said I would do that. Did I not? Did I not say about a month ago? I laid out the challenge. I said, hey, anyone out there who wants to do maybe an online, you know, exhibition set, no shit talk, no disrespect whatsoever, but have a very respectful set against each other, I would be down for that. I have a couple characters now that I feel that I can hang with, probably Blanca and Honda. Maybe I could practice a little bit more with my Lily or my Zangief or whoever, and I could try to hang with them too. But I would be down for that if someone was interested in that. But no one's really cared. No one cares about me. You guys don't understand that. We're living our bubble here, right? This is my bubble. DSPGaming is definitely a bubble, right? Here, you guys have a ton of fun with me. Outside of this bubble, no one cares about Darkside Phil. Nobody, you know? So, no one out there saying, oh, Darkside Phil is playing Street Fighter 6 and laid down the challenge. I'm going to... No one cares. Nobody gives a shit. It is what it is, though. You know? It is what it is. Challenge Chris G. Well, certainly if I played Chris G today, it would be different than that first run. That first run during the beta, I had no clue what the hell I was doing. And he obviously had practiced a bit, and he kicked my ass with Jamie. I was like, why is Jamie's low-medium kick beat everything I do? Today, that's like not even a problem, right? Like, even if it's high priority, I mean, now I'm not even using characters that's an issue. I know how to parry now. You know what I mean? Like, back then, I didn't even understand the gameplay elements. I didn't know how to use drive impact or parry or anything, you know? Now it's like a completely different game. So, absolutely, if I played Chris G, it would be a different set. That would be fun, I think, to redo that. Big Papa Phil says, you still get mentioned by pros. I was watching a pro play Street Fighter 6. He was getting countered over and over. He couldn't even press a button. He said, I feel DSP's pain now. Did he really say that? That's great. That's great. Did I know I played Sajam the first day I was playing Rashid? Someone had mentioned it, but I don't know what his online account is. So I don't know anything about it. I heard he's a nice guy. Didn't he do commentary at EVO for like the finals? So apparently he's very well liked in the community. I heard that basically people said stuff to him about me and he was nice. Like he was basically like, yeah, I don't understand the online hate against people. Just stop being dicks or something like that. I don't know. Jade says, I'm ready for MK1. I play with the sisters, so that would be Kitana and Melina. Reptile, Havoc, Smoke, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion. I've heard they're bringing back a lot of characters from the 3D era of Mortal Kombat for this one, and I don't know any of those characters. I didn't play Mortal Kombat 5 through 8, so there's going to be a ton of characters in here that I'm going to be like, oh, a new character. And you guys are going to be like, no, that's an old character, and I'm not going to get that, because I don't even know who they are. Well, I don't want to know anything else about that. It's this simple, all right? I will say this. Earlier this year, I attempted to be nice to a lot of people, correct? Outside of my streams, other streamers, other content creators. If you haven't noticed, that niceness was not reciprocated to me. Therefore, you're not going to see me speaking about these other content creators. You're not going to see me bring up. I don't care about them. They're doing their own things. That's fine. I want nothing to do with them. So please just leave them out. People are like, oh, Wings of Redemption is having another arc right now. I don't give two fucks about Wings of Redemption. He could do whatever he wants with the rest of his life. Good for him. I have nothing to do with it. I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to know about him. I do my own thing here. We're way far removed from that drama and crap, correct? Let's be honest. I've done my real good job of staying away from that, and we're not going over there. We're just going to leave it all alone. I wish him the best. I wish everyone out there who has treated me badly or has ill will towards me, I wish them all the best. I hope they all have great lives away from me and leave me the fuck alone. Let's put it that way. Okay. Oh my goodness. Was I ever into RTS games like Total Annihilation, StarCraft, or Supreme Commander? StarCraft. I loved StarCraft. Original and the expansion, which was Heart of the Swarm, was it called? Whatever it was called, the expansion, where the character became the queen of the Zerg. I loved that. I loved those games. Super good. And then when I played StarCraft 2, it didn't work. Just like when I played Diablo 3. Whenever I tried to go back to Blizzard games and play them for my YouTube career, no one really cared. Which is sad, because, I really like those games, but what can you do? Some things just don't work. Brood War, that's what it was called. Brood War. That's what it was called. Thank you, Brookworm. Really good expansion. Man, did it improve upon the original game so much. It is super good. Jasper is great, Jade. Happy running around the house being silly as always. He inadvertently scratched me last night on my arm. I got a big scratch here with his back claws yet again. He was on the floor, and it was time for sleep, and I'm trying to calm him down. And he gets all excited. He starts biting my arm and licking it. And I'm like, that's fine. Then all of a sudden he rolls and kicks with his claw. I'm like, ah! He cuts me. I'm like, well, now I gotta disinfect my arm. Son of a bitch. No, 672. Today's not the day I'll try to get the highest level of the wanted. No, we're not doing that today. I did play Scorn. Oh, SOCOM. Never mind. I read Scorn. He asked about SOCOM. I had a friend who was so addicted to SOCOM. Like, he shut himself off from all of us, and we went over his house to find out what happened. And he'd been playing SOCOM for, weeks and wouldn't stop playing it. Like, dude, fucking stop. You gotta stop this shit. You're getting too addicted. But I saw SOCOM. I never played SOCOM myself, but I saw other people playing it. No, I never played Evo Search for Eden. Anyway, I feel we got distracted, but just to say, I totally would accept exhibition matches and challenges from other people playing Street Fighter 6, as long as they're, of a skill level of my level. I don't want, someone no one ever heard of, doesn't play the game and wants to play me. That's stupid. But people who are playing Street Fighter 6, who are actively known and they're doing content like me of Street Fighter 6, if they wanted to challenge me to a set, I'd be down for that. But I haven't heard anything, like I said a month ago, that I would be down for that. We even threw out names, right? King Kindred, Free One Up, who were the guys from back in the day, Street Fighter 4 days of YouTube, but other people too. And I said I would be down for it, and I heard absolutely nothing. So I guess no one's interested. In which case, that's fine. I'll just keep going on and playing my way and having a community night once a week or whatever, and I'm down for that. All right? But hey, if anything ever comes up, if anyone reaches out to me and contacts me and says, hey, I'd be interested, and it's a notable player or whatever, someone you guys know, a content creator, I'd be down for that. All right? Am I starting to feel my age now? Here's a funny thing you asked that question, Matthew. So, yesterday, I forgot to mention this, by the way. Yesterday, I got up in the morning, and, I'm getting ready for my day with my wife, and I had to do a stupid, like I said, an hour on fucking the phone with customer service with this company. And then I'm done with that, and my wife is getting ready for our day out, and I said, I got some time to kill. And I realized something. I was like, I actually have energy. I was like, I feel energetic. I feel spry. What should I do? And I went outside. I did an hour of yard work. I cleaned our whole backyard up. I cleaned up all this old shit that was out there. I weeded. I did all this yard work. And I came inside. I was like, I feel good. I couldn't believe it. Because, I'll be honest. Yeah, there were some years there where I felt like shit. And I thought, man, things aren't going well. I'm actually feeling better today than I have in years. I don't know. I think it's because I took the weight off. And having all that weight off of me has made me feel better. And just in general, eating better, eating less, eating better, right? I'm actually feeling pretty good. And people have actually said that on streams I've been looking better. And I kind of agree with you that, I think what it is it's a combination of factors. Happiness too. You have to understand that happiness is a factor of it, that I'm very happy with my life, with my family here. I'm years removed from being in constant financial distress. Not to say that things are great, things keep coming up that screw me over financially, and that sucks, but I'm not in dire straits like I was, so that stress is removed now from my constant life. That's a lot. You have to understand that. When every day you wake up and you're worried about how things are going to go. You're going to be able to provide for your family, or you're going to be able to pay your bills. That kills you, man. It does. And I'm not in that situation anymore. So it makes me feel better about things mentally, and that carries over to the physical, I think, too. You know? The one thing that sucks is my allergy. I still have this stupid nasal drip. I still get this throat thing that I keep getting, you know, over time because of allergies and shit. But outside of that, you know, everything else has been feeling quite good. So, you know, I'm happy and I'm feeling better, and it makes me want to do fun things like experiment with a new joystick in Street Fighter, play on a mini PC, change my appearance because you guys say you like how I mix stuff up and things, try new lighting. This is cool. It makes me feel energetic, and you know, I'm 41 years old, and I seriously feel healthier and happier than I did back when I was younger but more prominent on YouTube. Like back then, my life sucked. I was living in that shitty place in Connecticut. I was single. I was lonely. I was constantly drinking and pumping out videos just for the sake of making money. I didn't really care about the quality of what I was doing. That's why I rushed through games to get right to the next game to make more money. You know what I mean? Like, things today are so different. I'm way less popular, but I'm way more happy. So maybe this is needed to happen, right? Maybe. All right. Let's end we went really long on the podcast today, but we had some good discussion, right? All right. Let's end the show. I'm going to take a brief break before we start with gameplay because I had to use the restroom. But let's end the show for today. Thank you all. And it's time to chill in GTA 5 for a very fun interactive stream. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. And I hope to see you tomorrow for a fun podcast before my annoying interruption. But it is what it is. Thank you all. Enjoy. See you later.